Welcome to another Chelsea 69 video. Right, you may notice the title is not a FC Bayern Munich 2, My Player, CF Reus, Ultimate Team. It's nothing like that. This is a new series that I'm going to be making. It's called the Rank of PL. It's basically every single week. I'm obviously doing this since a certain time. Every single week I'll be doing this. Just hold on, I need to turn my trainer off. And what we're doing is we're just gonna be ranking the Premier League as of recent years, like 2014. So in this episode, I'm going to be doing the best team to support out of every Premier League team. In 20th position, I'm going to say Man United. Obviously Man United is still a top 6 side, but if you're ranking them since 2014, which is past the Ferguson era, it's been a very disappointing few years for Man United. No Man United fans have been enjoying it especially since David Moyes came in back in 2014, because he just ruined the club after Ferguson left. Then you had Louis van Gaal, and yeah, that's about it really. I mean, as of recent years, they've been massively underperforming in the early 2010s or all of the 2000s, even 1990s. You would expect them to come at least probably third. And obviously last season they finished, I think they finished 6th, I don't know, they either finished 6th or 5th, which means they don't even get Champions League football. And yeah, that's 20th. In 19th, I'm going to go with another quite big side in Everton. Everton, obviously, still trophyless. Like, they've not beat Liverpool in 10 years. Even when we had the youth team out late 2019, we still beat them. We've not lost to them in about since 2010. It's 2020 now, obviously, and still trophyless. At the start of this season, they were just above relegation zone, which is shocking for a team calibre of Everton. But yeah, that's Everton, 19th place. In 18th, I think I'm going to put Aston Villa. 2014-2015, they established themselves as like a proper mid-table Premier League side. Then in 2016, they just dropped off for them. They got relegated from the Premier League, bottom as well. They were shocking. They did one of the worst performances in Premier League history. I'm pretty sure only Derby and Sunderland have actually got worse. But yeah, don't really have. Obviously, they got promoted last season, and as of now, I don't know where they are in the league. Let me just check. Let me just check where they are. Man City are beating West Ham at the moment, by the way. Tables. Yeah, so Aston Villa are currently 17th. So they're in the relegation battle, definitely. Will they stay up this season? Personally, I don't think they'll stay up. I think Aston Villa will get relegated alongside Norwich and Watford. Right, in 17th place, well, 20th was Man United, 19th was, who was 19th? Everton. 17th was Aston Villa. No, 18th was Aston Villa. I think in 17th we're gonna have probably Sheffield United. Obviously, they're doing amazing this season. In 6th position at the moment, and because of Man City's ban, you would probably expect them to, you know, get European football, which would be insane. If they come, any team that comes 5th this season, unless it's Man City, will get Champions League football. I honestly think Sheffield will finish 5th, therefore Sheffield will get Champions League football. But this is also since 2014. This is since 2014. So Sheffield United since 2014, this is their only real good season. Last season they came 2nd in the Championship, but the rest of the time they were just mid-table Championship really. They were just doing relatively bad. Well, mid-table, finishing below the likes of Derby County and all that. But obviously, they've been promoted, and I can see that I don't think they'll get relegated for a long time, couple years at least. I think they're gonna probably modify themselves to be a top, no, not top, mid-table Premier League team. So that's 17th. Should it be 17th? I don't know, but yeah. In 16th, I'm going to have Norwich. All 3 newly promoted sides in a row here in 18th, 17th, and 16th. In 16th, I put Norwich because just like Aston Villa, they were a good side back in 2014 and 2015. And then it kind of dropped off, obviously winning the Championship. That's about it. Norwich are quite a boring team. Can't really say much more about them. Yeah, so that's 16th. In 15th, I'm going to have... In 15th, I'm going to have Southampton. Obviously, they're in 12th in the league right now. Which is very good for a team of their calibre. 12th even. I was about to say 17th then. Massively doing really, really well. And I think the reason why I put them in 15th because they've seen many star players leave the club. The likes of Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk, Adam Lallana. Who else is there? Nathaniel Klein even. So there's been lots of even Gareth Bale used to play for Southampton. So there's been lots of star players leaving the club, which is why I put them down in 15th. But yeah, in 14th now, I'm going to put Brighton. Well, recently, not too long ago, they got promoted from the Championship, but beforehand they were very like mid-table Championship sides, just like Sheffield's, just really mid-table in the Championship. Then they got promoted. They've obviously stayed ever since. But when I remember in the Championship when they got promoted, they got promoted with Newcastle and I forgot the other team. Newcastle, Brighton, and someone else. Might have been Burnley. Yeah. Oh my god, just hold on. Yeah, I honestly think they've come in, what was it, 14th? I've lost track. Yeah, 14th. I've put them in 14th because, you know, they've been obviously trophyless, not done too well domestically or even in the league. Okay, in 13th place, I'm going to put Burnley. Just like Brighton, not too long ago, they were promoted from the Championship. Obviously, Sean Dyche is an amazing manager in my opinion, and I honestly think that he will lead them to more success. I don't think they'll get relegated. They are currently sitting in 11th in the league, just behind Arsenal. So they're still bottom half as we see it now. But yeah, in 12th, yeah, 12th. I've got Newcastle. Actually, no, we've not got Newcastle in 12th. We've got we've got Newcastle in 12th. Very dull couple of years. Obviously, mid-table Premier League sides, then got relegated, came straight up with Brighton, and are now still a mid-table side. Rafa Benitez did so much for them, but apart from the Championship title, they've not really done anything of value. Anyway, so what are we up to? 15th was Southampton, 14th was Brighton, 13th was Burnley, 12th was Newcastle. So 11th, I've got Crystal Palace. Wait, how many teams have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've done 9. So is this 11th? Yeah, 11th. I've got Crystal Palace. Stayed in the Premier League since 2014. We're getting to that area now where we've just got really good Premier League sides. They've stayed in the Premier League under Roy Hodgson, and I do believe they, obviously my cousin plays for them, Martin Kelly, and I really rate Crystal Palace as a good team. But if you have a look at recent years, trophyless, just been a really mid-table side. Anyway, how many teams do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 left. 9. We've got 9 left. In 9th, I'm going to have West Ham. Obviously, West Ham, you would expect, oh, they've not won anything. They've done even worse than Crystal Palace and Sheffield. The reason why I put them in 9th is mainly because of the 15-16 season. Did you see what they did? They got a Champions League spot, and all the other teams in the top 4 of that time period are still left in this list. And yeah, I just think after coming 4th, I don't know what they did in the Champions League that season. Even if they didn't qualify, I have no clue what they actually did. I know they didn't get out the group stage, I know that for a fact. But yeah, that was also the season where Chelsea came down in 11th, Liverpool were down in 8th, Arsenal were in bloody 3rd. So it didn't really make sense, that league. But yeah, in 8th now, I'm gonna have Wolves. Wolves. They're just Wolves, aren't they? They won the Championship, and their miracle of a story in the 18-19 season, getting straight promoted and going straight to European football, obviously escaping the group. I don't know what they're gonna... I think they play tomorrow in the Europa League round of 32, if I'm not wrong. Who do they play? They play Espanyol in the round of 32. You've also got Arsenal playing Olympiacos and stuff like that. But I honestly hope that they do really well. Wolves, I want them to win the whole competition. But once again, the reason why I put them down in 8th is because they just... Apart from the last season, they've been massively underperforming, to be honest. And yeah, in 7th now, so we're getting into the Europa League positions. Just make sure. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In 7th, I've got Arsenal. Obviously, where the Arsene Wenger era. I can't speak. Where the Arsenal Wenger era ended, they were doing really good. Obviously, when West Ham got top 4, Arsenal finished 3rd. So they've had Champions League football, but after about the 16-17 season. They came 5th. No, they came 4th in the 16-17 season. They came 5th in the 17-18 season, which in my eyes under Unai Emery is very, like, not good for Arsenal, a team that are known to be winning trophies. What? What?
Charlie, I know
What?
you're busy, but I'm in top 5.
Nice. Anyway, so sorry about that. Arsenal are in 7th in my list because they've been, obviously they had heartbreak in the Europa League final. That's about it really. Unai Emery was terrible with them. Arsene Wenger was classed as terrible, but I think he was actually 10 times better than Unai Emery. Mikel Arteta, we don't really know what to think of him yet. He's only been in the job for about 2 months, so we don't know what to think of him at all. But yeah, so we've got the top 6 now, I'm pretty sure. We do. In 6th place, I'm going to have Tottenham. Once again, they're just trophyless, aren't they? They've been a really good Champions League side. They are actually currently playing right now as we speak in the Champions League rounds of 16. They're drawing 0-0 with Red Bull Leipzig, which is quite good for them, I'd like to say. I think they're doing quite well for themselves. But anyway, it's not about that. It's about Tottenham, just what they've done in recent years. Obviously, Mauricio Pochettino came to them in 2014, and he was just amazing. He changed the club completely. Obviously, getting them to the Champions League final, which is absolutely amazing. Obviously, commiserations in the final, but yeah, they were just really, really good. And then at the start of this season, underperforming. Obviously, we're in 14th at one point. Then they sacked Pochettino, which I still don't think was right, but they still did. Brought in Mourinho. They're currently in 5th as of speaking, but Sheffield United are like right behind them, and Man United are right behind them, so it's quite close in that area. Right, top 5 now. In 5th, I'm gonna have Liverpool. Obviously, a Liverpool supporter myself, I wanted them to be 1st, but let's be honest, Liverpool, they've just, like, apart from when we won the Champions League, the Super Cup and the World Cup all in 2019, the rest, we were doing terribly under Brendan Rodgers. We obviously finished 8th in one season, which was really, really bad. But getting to back-to-back Champions League finals, beating Barcelona 4-0. Yeah, I think Liverpool are 5th, and we could still get speaking of the 2014 title, we could still win it, but that was the worst year of my life as a supporter. We were about to win the league, and then Stevie G did that, which I'm still devastated about, but we still could win the league. Anyway, top 4 now. In 4th place, I've got Bournemouth. Now you might be wondering, Bournemouth in 4th ahead of Liverpool and Tottenham? Well, if you have a look at Bournemouth, in 2010, I know we're doing this since 2014, but in 2010, do you know where they were? In League 2. What Eddie Howe has done with them is absolute nothing much of remarkable. He's transformed that club completely, and obviously they're a mid-table Premier League side now. Look what he's done. He got them promoted from League 2, got them promoted from League 1, got them promoted from the Championship, and then settled themselves as a mid-table side, obviously finishing 9th in the 17-18 season. they've been, out of all teams, probably the best in like improvement. But yeah, in third place I've got Chelsea. Yeah, it's just Chelsea, isn't it? They've been really good. Obviously won 2 Premier Leagues. Obviously won 2 Premier Leagues. Got to a Champions League semi-final. Won the Europa League over Arsenal last year. They have been good. As of recent, they've been quite underperforming, especially in the league. They're still in the Champions League, but they've got Bayern Munich, so I think they'll go out of it. And yeah, so the top 2, I think you know who they are. In second place, I'm gonna go with Leicester. Obviously amazing in the 15-16 season, winning the league with a, what was it, 1 in 5,000 chance or something, and they won it, which was amazing. And they were just insane that season. And then obviously the next season, they got to the Champions League quarter-finals and got knocked out by Atletico Madrid, which is it's fine because it is Atletico Madrid. They beat Sevilla as well in the round of 16 and topped the group. So yeah, and as of speaking, they are overperforming as well. They're in third, 1 point behind second, and obviously 24 points. So, however many points behind first. But yeah, I think Leicester have been the second best team to support. Right, in first, I think you know who it is. Of course, it's Man City. In fairness, most of the Man City fans are plastic. I'm joking, please don't fight me. Since Pep Guardiola and Sheikh Mansour, they have been probably the best team in the world at some points. Obviously, they've been terrible in the Champions League. In the 16-17 season, getting knocked out by Monaco. In the 17-18 season, getting knocked out 4-1 by a team that they beat 5-0 in the same season. And also lost to Tottenham, which is quite bad. Especially, like I said, especially for a team of their caliber. I would have expected them to win the league. But the reason why they're top is if you have a look at them, they won the 2014. No, yeah, they won the 2014 title. And they obviously won the first ever treble in men's English football. They were just really, really like. Pep Guardiola changed that team, and they were just. They're just outstanding, really. In my opinion, one of the best teams in the world. Well, yeah, of course they are. Obviously, that ban is gonna affect them. The Champions League ban is really gonna affect them. Obviously, commiserations, which means the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling will probably leave the club. They'll probably leave the club, which I think is fair. I think they would want to leave the club if they're not getting European football. But players like Mason Mount and Jadon Sancho, no, not Jadon Sancho, he used to play for them, have a great potential. And I honestly think that Mason Mount has a bright future. He's going to transform the team completely again. If Pep Guardiola leaves, if Sheikh Mansour gets sacked, if their top players leave, blah blah blah, they're still going to remain probably top 4 in the league. And since 2014, probably best team in the world. Anyway, that's going to be it for episode 1. Leave your suggestions in the comments on what I should do next. Goodbye.